everybody, this is your dose of morning motivation. Excuse me for talking funny because I had braces in my mouth and I got my teeth pulled yesterday. But I want to let you know that for years I've been a slave to something. It started off in my early childhood. I was a slave to like video games, mentally slaved out to games, where that was like my thriving desire, my burning desire was just to play video games, whether it was Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, or whatever like that. So I grew up and I became a slave to the dollar bill, to the profit. I was a slave to hustling. All I wanted to do was get money illegally by hustling and doing things that destroyed my community and destroyed the people that I loved and destroyed bonds with people I loved and appreciated being around. So I was a slave to that for years. And then when I got busted for hustling, I turned into a slave of the criminal justice system. So I had to serve a lot of time, and I was a slave of that because I'm saying slave in the terms that I wasn't able to freely do what I wanted to do. I was physically constrained, mentally constrained, and stuck in a certain area. So we're all slaves to something. You're slaves to your basic desire. You're slaves to your lack of ambition. You're slaves to the clock, because that's what I'm talking about. Now, as an adult, I've been delivered from the video games, delivered from selling drugs. I've been delivered from doing time in the criminal justice system. I got off probation, all that. Shout out to the Reform Alliance. I like what y'all doing out there. But the funny thing is now I've turned into a slave to the clock. Like I'm working average of 60 hours, 55, 60 hours a week. And so I'm lacking on my family. I'm lacking on my quality time with myself, with my spouse, with my kids, not being able to see my grandchildren because I became a slave to the 9-to-5 clock. And it's phenomenal. And it got me wondering, like, how many generations out of slavery am I? I need to research this and find this out. Like, was it my great ancestors that was in slavery? Am I 4 generations, 5 generations out of slavery? Because I've always become entangled by something, and now I'm entangled by this clock at work. I love work. I enjoy the opportunity. It's a blessing. I enjoy the people that I work for. They're awesome. The Crofton's are awesome. Jack Haney, my supervisor, he's awesome. All that, but I have become a slave to the clock. Like, this linear income has me trading all my time for the hourly rate that I receive. And every time I step outside in society, no matter what I do, it requires me to spend money. So I'm back trying to trade more hours of my time to receive more wages. And the cost of living increase in society is not keeping up with the hourly increase of wages. So I, in return, became a slave to something else, a slave to chasing the dollar, a slave to the clock. And Dr. Boyce Watkins talk about this generational wealth, and it's a downfall that we have as most black people, descendants of slavery, descendants of slaves, because we didn't have the opportunity to establish generational wealth. So we're already starting off like behind the buck. So what I got to focus on, I want you to focus on, is doing something to establish generational wealth so that when your children, your grandchildren grow up, they don't have to be slaves to these debasing things. Work isn't debasing, but when you're always at work and can't do things for your community or things with your family, it becomes a burden, all right? Now, y'all see me posting my work clothes all the time. I'm always at the shop. The shop became my studio. I love work, but what I'm saying is that I have become a slave, symbolically, metaphorically, to the clock, you know, chasing linear income. It's time to start some entrepreneurial endeavors so I can have more free time to positively affect my community, affect society, do things, go out and talk, reach the youth, mentor the youth, all that. And that's my drive, that's my ambition. I have a book coming out. Hopefully when the book comes out, it'll give me some kind of leeway to move a little different. These races look funny. I got a $6,000 grill, y'all. Hey, but don't be a slave to nothing. Y'all be blessed. Stay heavily motivated. If you're viewing this on YouTube, please like down below. Press the subscribe button. All right, if you're not viewing this on YouTube, go to YouTube, subscribe to Heavily Motivated, like, comment, share. Let's get this going. Let's get these honest conversations going. Let's get it started. Can't do it without you. I'm just that average man fighting the average struggle. But I want to fight it together. I want to fight it with you. I want you involved. And just know that you are not forgotten. Know that you are powerful. Know that you are lovable. And know that you are full of value and full of worth. Stay blessed. Peace. Stay heavily motivated. Stay humble. Sit down. Hey.